Hello students, welcome to Saraswat International Academy. This is third video of standard 10th mathematics and the chapter is 3 pair of linear equation in two way. In previous video we have learned about the graphical solution of a pair of linear equation. In today's video, we will learn the more examples and the second exercise which is based on a graphical solution of a linear pair of two equations and their properties. So let's start the video. Now the example number 5, that graphically find whether the following pairs of equations has no solution, unique solution or infinitely many solutions. So graphically we have to decide, we have given two pairs of equations. The first is 5x minus 8y plus 1 equals to 0 and the second equation is 3x minus 24 by 5y plus 3 by 5 equals to 0. And graphically we have to decide whether it is has no solution, unique solution or infinitely many solution. Okay, in previous video we have already decided if it has no solution then lines are parallel, unique solution then line will be intersecting lines and infinitely many so coincident line. So just what we have to do, first of all simplify the second equation because it is a fraction form given in the question. So what I am doing, simplifying the second equation. So first of all taking LCM 5 on left hand side, so I will get 15x minus 24y plus 3 equals to 0. The numerator 5 goes towards the right hand side which is multiplied by 0 and the right hand side will become 0. Again now 3 can be taken common from the side and taking towards the 0 then it will become 0. So therefore my simplification equation will become 5x minus 8y plus 1. So now what happened? See, now we can see this is the same as the equation number 1. So what you have to decide, just what you have to do, just plot the graph. So in this question you have to draw graph by yourself. You know how to make a graph, we have already learned in a previous video. So you have to graph and verify it yourself that what you will get, that the lines represented by equation number 1 and 2 are coincident lines because they are overlap each other. So again if it has coincident line then we have infinitely many solutions. So for that we can say here both equation have infinitely many solutions. If the graphically word is not given, then what you have to do, just compare the coefficient and say it has infinitely many or not. Now the next one, example number 6. Okay, Champa went to a sale to purchase some pants and skirts. When her friend asked her how many of each she had bought, she said that number of skirts is 2 less than the twice of the number of pants. The first relation is gives that number of skirt is 2 less than the twice the number of pants. And the another says also the number of skirts is 4 less than the 4 times of the number of the pant purchased. So help her friends to find the how many pants and skirts she or Champa bought. So we have to find how many skirts and pants Champa has bought. So what we have to do, we have to find a graphical solution for it. So first of all we have to create the equation. We have the word problem. So let us assuming that number of pants by x and the number of skirts be y. Then now equation formed by the given conditions. Now the first relation is that skirts equals to 2 times of the pants minus 2 because 2 less than the 2 times. Now in place of skirts we have to put y and in the place of pants we have to put x. The first equation will be y is equals to 2x minus 2, and that will be my first equation. Now you know how we can plot the points, so you have to plot the points for these two equations. Put two values, different values of x, and you will get two different values of y. Now the second condition, what is given? Again the skirt number of skirt is again 4 less than the 4 times. So again skirt is equals to 4 times of pants minus 4. Now again put x and y. So I will get y is equals to 4x minus 4. Now what we have to do, again put the values of x and you will get different values of y. So I am putting this, I will get these two values. Now what we have to do, we have to plot a graph. So whenever you plot the graph, you will get these type of lines, intersecting lines. So have you observed that the point is lines are intersecting at point Q, which coordinate is 1 comma 0. So here the two lines intersect at point 1 comma 0. So what you have to do, that x equals to 1 and y equals to 0 is the required solution. So x is the number of skirts and y is the x is the number of pants and y is the number of shirts. It means the number of pants she purchased is 1 and she did not buy any skirts because we have got the value 0. So this is the way you can draw the graph. Now the next one, exercise 3.2. Now we will solve the exercise second. Now the first question is, form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solution graphically So again we have to form the equation. So again word problem is given. So first word problem is 10 students of a class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, then find the number of boys and girls in who took the part in the quiz. So we have to find how many girls and boys have to part in the quiz. So let again in the solution we have to assume two things. So let assume that the number of girls be x and number of boys be y. Again what we have, total students. The total students is equal to 10. So total student means girls plus boys. So my first equation will become x plus y is equal to 10, which will become my first equation. Now the which condition is given next? Okay, that number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys. So we can say y is x is equals to y plus 4, number of girls is equals to 4 more than the boys. So again we have to represent it graphically. What we have to do, we have to plot the points. From the first equation x plus y is equals to 10, we will get 2 points, xy 0 comma 10, 10 comma 0. Similarly x is equals to y plus 4, this is the second equation. If we will get 2 points, I will get 0 comma minus 4 and 4 comma minus 0. So now in this question I will show you the whole graph, how you can build a graph. In exam, if our graph is asked, you have to draw it like which I am explaining. So look what we have to do. You have the graph paper. First of all, you have to draw a horizontal line like this. Then you have to draw a vertical line like this. Now the intersection point will denote it as O or 0. Now the horizontal line which got, now you plot the different lines in a particular interval at 1 centimeter gap. So like this you will get your lines. Now in the horizontal line, again put the horizontal lines on the vertical lines like this, when you can put any point values. Now you know that horizontal line denoted as your x-axis and vertical line is denoted as your y-axis. Now you have to use the scale, which scale you are using for the graph. So here I am using scale, and x-axis 1 centimeter is equals to 2 units, and again on y-axis again 1 centimeter is equals to 2 units. So I'm putting the different points. So on x-axis, the first point is 2, next is 4, next is 6, then 8, then 10, and then 12. On vertical axis, we get last point -6, then -4, then -2, then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Now discuss about the first equation. In the first equation, first coordinate is x0 and y10. So I will get this point on a y-axis at 10. So my first point will be like here, and the coordinate will be 0, 10. Now the second point is 10, 0. At this point will be on a x-axis, and the point will be here, and this coordinate will be 10, 0. Now what we have to do, connect these 2 points with the straight line. So I am connecting it with the straight lines. This is my first equation. Now what about the second one? So for the second one, we have to consider the point 0, -4, which will be shown like here, and the second point is 4, 0. And that equation will be, the first coordinate will be 0, -4, and the second point will be here, and the coordinate will be 4, 0. Again connect these 2 points from the straight line. So now I am connecting this to straight line. So what we have to do, we will find the intersection point. Now what we have to do, draw a from this point you have to draw a perpendicular line to x-axis, which will denote your x-axis. So what you have seen, it will comes between 6 and 8. So we can say the value will be 7 for x. And again draw a perpendicular line between these 2 points. So you can say again it will become between 2 and 4. So middle value will be 3. So again we can say the coordinate will be 7, 3. So what you have got, x is equals to 7 and y equals to 3. So you will get the answer that number of girls be 7 and the number of boys will be 8. Oh, sorry, 3. So from this way you can draw any graph in an examination. You have to draw it properly. Now the next one. Now the second question is, 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of one pencil and one pen. You have to find cost of one single pencil and one single pen. So for the solution, let us assume the cost of one pencil is x rupees and cost of one pen is rupees y. Now what we have, according to first condition, for 5 pencils it is 5x and 7 pens it will be 7y. So 5x plus 7y will become 50. And from the second condition I will get 7x plus 5y is equals to 46. Again what you have to do, you have to plot the points and the graph. So this work you have to do it by yourself, that plot few points for the both equation on the graph and verify yourself. Again you will get the intersecting lines as you have seen in the before in the first question. So after getting the point of intersection, you will get x equals to 3 and y is equals to 5. So cost of one pencil will be x, which is equals to 3, and cost of one pen is y, which is equals to 5. So your point of intersection will be 3, 5. So in this graph you have to draw it by yourself and verify these answers. Now moving towards the second question of the exercise. Now the second question is, on comparing the ratios a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2, find out whether the lines representing the following pairs of a linear equations intersect at one point, are parallel or coincident lines. So just we have already done this in the previous examples. Just you have to find the values of a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2 from the pair of equation and calculate the ratios. So whenever this ratio, and then will be your answer. So let's calculate it. So the first pair is given 5x plus 4y plus 8 equals to 0 and 7x plus 6y minus 9 is equals to 0. So now for the solution, we know a1 is the first equation. So now a1 is equals to 5, b1 equals to -4 and c1 equals to 8. Similarly, a2 is equals to 7, b2 is equals to 6 and C2 will be minus 9. So now again calculating A1 by A2, which is equals to 5 by 7, and B1 by B2, which is equals to minus 4 by 6, which is equals to minus 2 by 3. So what you have observed here, A1 by A2 is not equals to B1 by B2. So we have the relation. If we get this relation, we can say the given pair of lines, linear equations, are intersect at a single unique point. Now the second one in this question, the second one is 9x plus 3y plus 1, 12 equals to 0, and 18x plus 6y plus 24 equals to 0. Now again for the solution we will calculate in A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So A1 equals to 9, B1 equals to 3, C1 equals to 12, A2 equals to 18, B2 equals to 6, and C2 equals to 24. Again calculating A1 by A2, which is equals to 9 by 18 equals to 1 by 2. Similarly, B1 by B2 equals to 3 by 6. Again, it will become 1 by 2. And C1 by C2, which is equals to 12 by 24. Again, after simplifying, I will get 1 by 2. So, what we have got that A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2 equals to C1 by C2. So, from that we can say the pairs of linear equations are coincident lines. The third one, 6x minus 3y plus 10 equals to 0, and 2x minus y plus 9 equals to 0. Again, for the solution, we will calculate A1, which is equals to 6, B1 minus 3, C1 10, A2 2, B2 minus 1, and C2 9. Again, A1 by A2, which is equals to 6 by 2, which is equals to 3 by 1, B1 by B2 minus 3 by minus 1, or equals to 3 by 1, and C1 by C2 will be 10 by 9. So here we have observed that A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2, but it is not equals to C1 by C2. So from this equation we will get that pair of linear equations are parallel, because the third ratio is not equals to from first two ratios. So this way you can calculate these ratios. Now the third question, again on comparing the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2, and C1 by C2, find out whether the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. So we know the method. The consistent, there are only two cases. The lines are intersecting and coincident, and for inconsistent, the lines are parallel. So just we have to check the ratio again, and we have to decide if we have find a solution which is unique solution or intersecting lines, then the equations are consistent, or if we get the parallel lines, then equation are inconsistent. So for the first question, which is 3x plus 2y equals to 5, and the 2x minus 3y equals to 7. Again, A1 by A2 will be 3 by 2, and B1 by B2 will be 2 by minus 3. You can calculate it directly. So you can say here A1 by A2 is not equals to B1 by B2. So lines are intersecting. So we get a solution. So we can say the pair of linear equations are consistent. Now the second one, 2x minus 3y equals to 8, and 4x minus 6y equals to 9. Now again A1 by A2 will be 2 by 4, which is equals to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 equals to minus 3 by minus 6, again 1 by 2. And C1 by C2 will be 8 by 9. So 8 by 9. Again what we get the ratio? That A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2, but is not equals to C1 by C2. So what we get? Parallel lines. And if the lines are parallel, there are no solutions. So we can say the pair of linear equations are inconsistent. Third one, 3 by 2x, 5 by 3y equals to 7, 9x minus 10y equals to 40. So again, A1 by A2 will be 3 by 2 divided by 9, which is equals to 1 by 6. B1 by B2 will be 5 by 3 divided by 10, which is equals to minus 1 by 6. So again you will get A1 by A2 is not equals to B1 by B2. So again intersecting lines, we get the solutions. Therefore, pair of linear equations are consistent. So next two questions. The fourth question is 4x minus 3y equals to 11, and minus 10x plus 6y equals to minus 22. And the fifth question, 4 by 3x plus 2y equals to 8, and 2x plus 3y equals to 12. These two questions will be your homework. You have to just verify the ratio and calculate whether the lines are consistent or not. So these two questions you have to do as your homework. Now the next one, question number 4. Which of the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? If consistent, then obtain the solution graphically. So again we have to check the whether the equation are consistent or not. We have already seen how to solve it in a previous question. But after, if we find the equation are consistent, then you have to solve it graphically. But it have come inconsistent, then you don't have to solve it graphically. So the first pair is x plus y equals to 5 and 2x plus 2y equals to 10. So what we have to do here, a1 by a2 equals to 1 by 2, b1 by b2 equals to 1 by 2, and c1 by c2 equals to 5 by 10, which is again 1 by 2. So here what you get, a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 equals to c1 by c2. So you will get the pair of linear equation are consistent because they are coincident lines. So these are the consistent lines. So from equation, what you have to do, we have to plot our points. So from equation number 1, we will plot these 2 points, 4 comma 1 and 3 comma 2. And from the second point equation, we will also get the same point, that 4 comma 1 and 3 comma 2. So after plotting these two in the graph, you will see the graph like this. So this is your graph. You will see the coincident line on the graphical solution. So this will be your graphical solution for the equation. So what you can say, the equation has infinitely many solutions. The second question, x minus y equals to 8 and 3x minus 3y equals to 16. Again calculating, a1 by a2 equals to 1 by 3, b1 by b2 equals to again 1 by 3, and c1 by c2 will become 1 by 2. So here what you get, a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2, which is not equals to c1 by c2. So we will get the parallel lines, then the equation are inconsistent. So pair of linear equations are inconsistent. So we don't have to find any solution for it. Our question is and here. Now the third one and fourth one, I will give it you as a homework. Again you have to do what you have to do. You have to just find the ratio. If it is consistent, then find the solution. If it is not, then you don't have to find the solution graphically. So again, these two questions will be your homework for the given question. Now the next question, fifth question, half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meter more than its width is 36 meter. Find the dimensions of the garden. What we have the result, read properly. Half of the perimeter is 36 meter and the length is 4 meter more than its width. There are two values are given here. So first, for solution, what we have to assume, let us assume that breadth of a garden is equals to x meter and width of the garden, length of the garden is y meter. So what you have, the half of the perimeter is 36 meter. So half of perimeter, now perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times of x plus y, and the 36 is the half of their value. So my equation will be half of 2 times of x plus y is equals to 36. Now 2 will be cancelled out. So x plus y will be 36. So from this equation we can plot a graph. This is my first equation. Now again we have the relation. The length is 4 meter more than the width. So we can say y is equals to x plus 4. This is my second equation. So from first equation we will plot these 3 points, and from the second equation we will plot these 3 points on the graphs. So after drawing the graph, your graph will be look like here, intersecting at one point. The common intersection point is 16 comma 20. So you can say here the both lines will intersect at point 16 comma 20. So you can say what is x, the breadth. So breadth of the garden is 16 meter and the length of the garden is 20 meter. So that will be your answer. Now the next question. Now the sixth question is, given the linear equation 2x plus 3y minus 8 equals to 0, write another linear equation in two variables such that the geometrical representations of the pairs so formed is intersecting lines, parallel lines, and the coincident lines. So we have to write the, I have only given the one equation. We have to write the another pair, such another equation such that the pair will become intersecting, parallel, or coincident line. So for that, first case I am taking intersecting lines. Now for the intersecting line, what you have to do, the equation is given 2x plus 3y minus 8 equals to 0. Now for the getting intersection lines, change the coefficient of x or y. You can replace the coefficient by interchanging by themselves, or just replace any one coefficient of x or y. So what I am doing, my first example is x plus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. The second is x minus 3y plus 8 equals to 0, and x plus 2y plus 3 equals to 0. Now what I have to do, in the first equation I have just replaced the coefficient of x and minus 8. In the second equation I have replaced the both values. X, in the place of 2x I have written x, and in the place of 3y I have written minus 3y, and in the place of minus 8 I have written plus 8. In the third equation the whole equation is changed. So in this case you will get the equation. Why I am doing this? Because we have to satisfy the equation for the intersecting line that a1 by a2 is not equals to b1 by b2. So remember thing, just interchange any coefficient of x and y except given values. Now the second condition, parallel lines. Now for the parallel lines, what you have to do, again given line is given, so multiply x and y by same number, but don't multiply it by constant term, except that you can write any constant in this case. In a first case I am giving the three examples, the 4x minus 6y minus 9 equals to 0, 6x plus 9y minus 5 equals to 0, and minus 2x minus 3y plus 5 equals to 0. So what is happening? First equation I have multiplied the x and y by 2, but I didn't multiply it by 8 and replacing it by any number. In second equation I have multiplied the x and y by 3, but didn't multiply the 8. And the third equation I have multiplied the x and y by minus 1, and the constant term is changed. So this way you can get the equation, because again we have to follow the condition for the parallel lines that a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2, but it is not equals to c1 by c2. And for the third case, which is for the coincident lines, again the given equation is here, it is 2x plus 3y minus 8 equals to 0. In this case we have to multiply the whole equation by any number. In the second case I have just multiplied x and y terms, but in this case we have to multiply the constant term also by the number. So in first case I will get 4x plus 6y minus 16 equals to 0, 6x plus 9y minus 24 equals to 0, or minus 2x minus 3y plus 8 equals to 0. Again, in the first case I have multiplied the whole equation by 2, in the second case I have multiplied the whole equation by 3, and the third case I have multiplied the whole equation by minus 1. So by this method you will get the condition that a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2, and it is equals to c1 by c2. So from this case you can find this. Okay. Now the last example of your textbook exercise 3.2. So seventh example, which is most important for the from the form of point of example of your exercise. The question is, draw the graph of equation x minus y plus 1 equals to 0 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 equals to 0. Now determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangle formed by the lines and the x-axis, and shade the triangular region. Now in this question we have to draw the graphs. Now we have to draw the triangle made by the x-axis and these two lines. So first of all we have to draw the graph. So for that, first of all from the first equation I can get x equals to y minus 1. So from these 2 points I will get these 3 points. From the second equation, I can get x equals to 2y minus 2y plus 12 by 3. And from this, I will get this equation. Now, from drawing these 2 points, I will get my graph like this. Now, you have seen the lines are intersecting at point B, and we have to see that the 2 points which are intersecting at x-axis, it is B and C. So, my required triangle is triangle PBC. You have seen that the PBC is my required triangle made by 2 lines and the x-axis. So PBC is my required triangle. So first of all, what we have to do? Determine the coordinates. So I can say the vertices of the triangle are minus 1 comma 0, 4 comma 0 and 2 comma 3. Now again we have to shade it this region. So like this you can shade this region. This is your final answer. So this is the last question of your second exercise. In next video, we will see the another method to solving the pair of linear